The captain secretly poured 96 proof vodka into his orange juice. With the cabin empty, he added another bottle. Satisfied, he tossed the empty bottle into the trash. Then, without a second thought, he drank down the vodka-laced juice in one go. The chief flight attendant noticed the smell of alcohol but didn't react. She seemed used to it. Only the first officer, a rookie, looked completely shocked. The captain, now reeking of alcohol, had fallen into a deep sleep. From the flight attendant's reaction, it was clear this wasn't the first time. The flight proceeded smoothly, and as they neared their destination, the first officer took over to begin the descent. Suddenly, the cabin was rocked by severe turbulence. Both the crew and passengers were thrown into panic, but the captain, still half asleep, remained calm and composed. The first officer discovered that the elevator control was stuck. Without hesitation, the captain directed the chief flight attendant to calm the passengers. But before they could react, the plane plummeted vertically. The unbelted flight attendants were thrown from their seats, their bodies tossed into the air. The first officer desperately yanked the deceleration lever, but the plane's descent continued with no reduction in speed. 102 passengers held their breath in terror. The captain immediately contacted air traffic control. The tower prepared for an emergency landing, but at the current rate of descent, safe landing seemed almost impossible. To slow the fall, the first officer followed the captain's orders and dumped all the fuel. Yet, nothing improved. With air traffic control's approval, the fuel tanks were jettisoned. But as they collided with the cabin, they accidentally flung open the overhead compartments, sending luggage tumbling. With the ground rushing toward them, the captain made a breathtaking decision: he would make the plane fly backward. The first officer was stunned, but without hesitation, the captain pulled back the control stick and the plane tilted dangerously. With the help of the flight attendant and first officer, the captain retracted the landing gear, and at an altitude of just 800 meters, the plane successfully flipped. The reverse flight helped slow the descent, but with the fuel tanks gone, the plane had lost all power and could not reach the airport. Both engines burst into flames. Faced with no choice, the captain made another bold decision: he would have to land the plane nearby. First, he needed to regain control and reorient the plane. Despite repeated malfunctions, they finally managed to return the plane to level flight. But with both engines dead, they were now gliding with no power. Just then, the unthinkable happened. On the once empty field, a church spire suddenly appeared from the ground. The captain desperately banked the plane, trying to avoid it, but it was too late. The right wing slammed into the church wall. In those final moments, the passengers and crew could only brace for impact. The end seemed inevitable.